Hey guys, Jay-Sensei here again. This is me what if Luffy became Muzan. So, basically, how Luffy becomes Muzan. So, also, this is part of basically my two Devil Fruit series. I forgot to say that. This is what if Luffy had two Devil Fruits. One of them basically is, well, I gotta call it like the plant fruit model spider lily, or blue spider lily, because that's the fruit that, well, for the lip flower that gave Muzan his demon abilities. Luffy has kind of ate a fruit that was based off of that. This fruit basically gives Luffy all the abilities of Muzan, but I'll not be giving Luffy every single Muzan ability, because like Muzan's arm whip ability, Luffy can use that, but Luffy's body is made of rubber, so it doesn't really matter, because Luffy's arms are basically whips either way. But yeah. But the abilities that Luffy would get, basically, we can go over the abilities once I guess he's an adult. Well, first, when the Blue Jam's crew basically decides to try to take Luffy, Ace and Sabo hostage, Luffy for the first time basically would unleash the full potential of his abilities, as everything else was the exact same as in canon. When Blue Jam's crew tries to take him hostage, and Sabo's head tries to take him, Luffy's temper is through the roof right now. He had Blue Jam full force, completely kind of blowing apart Blue Jam's head, running one equal speed ahead and kicking Sabo's dad in the spine, completely shattering it, and sending his dad flying through the Goa Kingdom. And Luffy proceeds to basically just beat Blue Jam's crew half to death, or even killing a majority of them. But for Ace and Sabo, Luffy awakened an ability that would allow him to actually bestow his blood upon others to make them demons. And Luffy's demons stay in the sunlight, but it's the point where Sea Stone and the ocean, well, if they fall in the ocean, they drown. Sea Stone can actually kill them if they have it on them for more than a minute. So, yeah. So, having Sea Stone on them for more than a minute, unless you're Luffy, would kill them. And Luffy basically has the normal, dampening effects of Devil Fruits, while then his lower ranked demons, except for Ace, actually, because Ace would get Devil Fruit later on, well, though, just having Sea Stone on you for a minute would kill you, unless you're a Devil Fruit user, where it just gives you the regular weaknesses of a Devil Fruit. So, yeah. So, if you have a Devil Fruit, your weaknesses, a Sea Stone, basically just goes away, or at least is dampened. So, yeah. So basically, the abilities he gives Sabo and Ace. Basically, Sabo gets the abilities of basically every single ability of Doma, just not as bad of a person as Doma is. And then Ace gets every ability of Gyusuro in a sense. And then they kind of become mastering the abilities. Luffy doesn't control what abilities he gives anyone. So, yeah. But these two abilities allow them to basically be completely safe, and no one really harms them ever again. So yeah, now when Luffy is 17, Ace and Sabo are already gone. Ace has the Mary no Mi. Sabo is just a revolutionary. So yeah, the abilities of Luffy basically he's a lot bigger, roughly basically very similar in size to Zoro post time skip, like height, muscle mass, everything very similar. So yeah, Luffy also seems to be very intimidating and basically just a genius. Kind of got fed up with Goa Kingdom and kind of stole every bit of knowledge he could by actually killing people or just kind of absorbing them, which allows him to actually get every bit of knowledge they had. Point where Luffy able to really greatest minds of the Goa Kingdom, or at least can possess them for a bit to get their minds, making him one of the smartest men in the East Blue. Or not making him making him the smartest, putting Ben Beckman at number 2. So yeah. Well, so Luffy's is 6 feet tall, so a lot bigger than Kanan. So yeah. And then he has his flesh plus arm whips ability, which can transform his arms into basically axes and everything. He also does the same thing with the legs, or can kind of thigh or back whips. So yeah, he can turn people into demons like he did with his two brothers. He can basically transfer memories. He can transfer its consciousness onto you, or he can access all your memories. He does that with Ace and Sabo a bit, just talk to them for a bit. He also basically has telepathy with any demon he makes. So he talks to them pretty regularly. And Sabo even told Dragon that Luffy's Devil Fruit allows him to basically make people demons. It's just they have a lot worse weaknesses than Devil Fruit users. Which shocked Dragon that Luffy has that ability, but Luffy's also a very nice guy, so he doesn't have complete dominion over you. So yeah. Luffy can also just control Ace and Sabo completely, but he doesn't do that because they're his brothers and he loves them. So yeah. But Luffy mainly just wants to be a pirate, just to give the hat back to Shanks, but also he just doesn't like the world government because the Dragon that came around killed a random child that wanted to basically just go set sail on his own, happened to be flying a Jolly Roger. And Luffy just sees how corrupt the world government is after that one incident and just hates them with the bottom of his heart. So yeah, just because he can, he doesn't like the world government, and kind of just opposes everything they stand for. Yeah. Luffy has super perception to the point where it's nigh observation hockey. He's super speed, reflexes, and strength. Like, he was already inhumanly strong and fast. The Devil Fruit that he had just boost that up like times 100. So this man's strength and speed is just multiplied by a lot. So he's already a genius, and without trying too much, he can already move faster than lightning without even going gear second, which he does have access to. Because he's a demon, well, gear second and gear third don't train his body whatsoever. His body gets he has full control over every inch of his body. He also has absolute regeneration, which allows him to come back from anything. Like he can, I would say, basically cut to pieces, and he can just completely regenerate from scratch. One thing he can regenerate from is being cut to pieces by sea stone. That's about it. So yeah. And he also has infinite stamina and endurance, and he can basically control his body by biokinesis. So yeah. So he can change his appearance and everything. Basically just shape-shifting, but times 10. So, yeah. When he sets sail. So when Luffy sets sail, well, he has his own ship. They kind of just convince someone to give him a ship. So he sets sail using the ship, and it's a pretty decent sized one. It's like the same size as Alvida's. But when he finds Alvida's ship, he kind of went on board, and killed a majority of her crew, besides Koby and Alvida, actually sending Alvida flying. And actually, kind of erasing Koby's memories, so actually giving Koby a bit of demon abilities. Also, because he realized how strong Koby was and how much he kind of admired Koby for a bit. The demon abilities I'd probably give Koby is probably the abilities of, I would say, maybe like, what could I say? Koby was honestly on a whim, but I do realize that he would be very powerful with demon abilities. You can see Koby probably having the abilities of maybe probably like a common demon. Maybe the swamp demon. I actually see Koby having that, just not as annoying. So yeah. So Koby kind of has the ability to swamp demon, kind of just duplicate himself and just create these portals so he can dive into. And this does take away Koby's basically weakness to water, because this is his own water. He created it, so Koby wouldn't be weak to it. Basically giving Koby the swim fruit, but a lot better. So yeah. Now we go on to basically just Luffy and Koby heading to Shelltown. Luffy controlled Koby's body to the point where Koby is basically perfect physically. Luffy controls his body to the point where Koby does not look like a demon. So Koby wouldn't know what devil fruit he has. Koby just says he doesn't know. He's kind of force fed it, and then just didn't have time to think of what the fruit's name was. So yeah. But Garp knowing Luffy's abilities, able to figure out that Luffy made him a demon, but made Koby forget that Luffy made him one. Luffy is basically erasing Koby's mind of Luffy killing Alvida's whole crew. And like erases of like the last 2 years of Koby's mind. Koby says he's out at sea, just drifting alone, island to island. Yeah. But Luffy found Zoro's aura just really impressive. So he went in, grabbed Zoro's swords, and when they got in his way, Luffy just punched them straight through a wall. When Morgan came down, wondering what was going on, seeing Luffy walking in Humbo's room holding Zoro's 3 swords. Morgan went on to basically try to grab Luffy, or not grab him, kind of cut him in half. Only for Luffy to swing around, punching the axe to pieces, and hit Morgan in the face so hard that Morgan's head is blown apart. And Luffy's outside doing this right now, and Zoro saw Luffy kill Morgan in one blow. Humbo just watched Luffy kill his own dad, too. Humbo couldn't help but be in shock, as Koby couldn't grab Humbo, putting him in a chokehold, and just held him there, just choking him out. And with how fast Koby did it, and the way Koby did it, Humbo kind of lost memories of that day, not knowing how Morgan died, and Luffy was able to actually convince everyone that he wasn't there. But actually, everyone was okay that Morgan died. So, no one really cared. But Luffy freed Zoro, actually asking to join his pirate crew. Zoro said no. But Luffy tells Zoro he can make Zoro the most powerful man in the world. Or one of them behind him. Luffy tells Zoro about his abilities, and how, well, he can give Zoro extra strength, speed, and everything. Like, well, I don't want my power handed to me. It's like, oh no, I hand you power, sure. But it's your job to control it. If you can't control it, you're useless. Basically, I give you power, and it's up to you to train your body to its limit to make that power perfect. It's how it is. How Luffy's phrasing it. I give you potential, you unlock the potential yourself. Basically, it's how it is. And unlock potential gives you control abilities. Zoro being somewhat dumb, but not at the same time, was actually able to somewhat agree with this. And Luffy just shoved his hand straight through Zoro's chest, went through, but into it. And Zoro's wondering if Luffy's actually killing him. Until Luffy began pumping his blood into Zoro's chest, basically giving Zoro most of the abilities of Kokushibo. Time Luffy pulls his hand out Zoro's chest, the hole in Zoro's chest is healed completely. And well, Zoro basically gained the abilities of Kokushibo. Basically, biological absorption, absorbing people and corpses, or mainly corpses. Transparent world, Zoro just got that off the whim because Luffy has it. Super perception, flesh control. He kind of just destroyed his 2 blades, by absorbing them, but also making them 2 new blades. So yeah, flesh control, super durability, which would be basically super durability point where he's basically just his body's basically all like constant ornament hockey, kind of similar to that, but imagine like breakable ornament hockey. It's kind of what Luffy and Zoro have going on right now. Regeneration, but on the same scale as Luffy, but he can regrow his head. So yeah, Luffy also still passes on a bit of intelligence to Zoro, so Zoro has a bit of a bigger brain. He's pretty smart now. And Zoro also gains infinite stamina and endurance, along with actually being able to fire off his crescent moon slashes. But Zoro doesn't like the crescent moon style, so he kind of dismisses it, not even using it. And Zoro realized that Luffy was right. Zoro was given potential. All Zoro has to do is unlock it. So yeah, Zoro is not given the ability to kill Kushibo, and Luffy tells Zoro the weaknesses of a standard demon, unless Zoro wants to eat a devil fruit. And Zoro says no, he doesn't want to. So yeah. Now with this, Luffy and Zoro will set sail. Luffy says goodbye to Koby, and Koby just nods to Luffy, thanking him for his power. But Luffy, not wanting to make Garp suspicious, knowing that Garp's in the East Blue currently, would basically just remove all his connections to Koby, besides their friendship, and then Koby's raw demon abilities. So yeah. Now this, Luffy heads to Orangetown with Zoro, and since Luffy has a bigger boat, and actually a lot better one, when they get there, well, Luffy kind of wanders around Orangetown, saving Nami from these two demons. And Luffy is actually decently attractive to most women, just because he is. He has an aura of intimidation, intelligence, and well, the aura of an ideal man. Someone who's scary, but not. Someone who's strong, and knows it, and would utilize it in the way that would benefit him, but everyone around him. Nami just adores Luffy to this point. Then Zoro looked at Buggy's crew, and immediately just yelled Onigiri, cutting down a majority of the buildings around him, but then kicking all the rubble right over to Buggy's crew, and the rubble just knocks out every single one of Buggy's crew members, besides Buggy, Kawaji, Moji, and Richie. When Luffy told Zoro that he'll end us from here, just make sure that the girl is safe. Richie immediately ran over and bite Luffy. Luffy got Richie, almost tear Richie's head off, but decides to let the little lion go. So sends Moji's head into the pavement full force, almost killing him. Pushes Kawaji in the chest hard enough to break a majority of his ribs, and just glares at Buggy, and Buggy just yells, saying he'll be leaving now. It picks up Kawaji, Moji, and Richie and runs onto his boat, sailing away, with his crew chasing after him on dinghies. And Nami's wondering how strong this guy is. If you look at Nami, then immediately grabbed his fingernail and like a claw, stabbing it right in Nami's head, and basically kind of reading a bit of Nami's mind, but kind of figuring everything about her out. Let's finger Nami's head, and she immediately asks what that was, as it hurts. He tells Nami he can give her power that can surpass any fishman, and if she uses it right, she'll be one of the strongest people to ever walk the earth. Nami immediately have the chance to defeat the fishman, and she asks what power this is. He then told her, "I don't know, but all I can tell you is that because if you have my blood running through you, you'll be stronger than you could ever imagine. So tell me, yes or no." Nami, at the chance to free kill Koyashi, would say yes, and she gets punched right in the chest as Luffy has his hand around her heart and he's pumping blood into it. With Nami basically gets all the abilities of Hatengu. So if you guys know who Hatengu is and Nami has his abilities, she's fucking stacked. But because Zoro got the ability of the greatest swordsman in the world being Hatengu, or one of the greatest swordsmen, not Hatengu, of Kokushibo, Zoro's abilities do surpass Nami still, but she's close behind him. And the abilities that Nami would get from Zoro and Tengu: stealth, super durability, super stealth, super durability, super speed, reflexes, size alteration, just like Nezuko, bioabsorption, or biological absorption like Zoro has as well, flesh manipulation, super strength, infinite stamina and endurance. Pause. She can create wings and talons that she actually used to fly and pick up things from the water. Electrokinesis, where she can conjure electricity and lightning. Kind of like Enel, but she can't turn into lightning. Then aerokinesis as well, and she can summon the staffs that are coated in lightning or wind. She also has a sonic scream, and she can also control wood. Those are all of Nami's abilities that Luffy had given her, or he kind of gave her his blood, and then his blood conjured those abilities within Nami. And Nami now constantly looks a lot like Monet, but yeah, she looks a lot like Monet just because the fact that Nami control her body. She looks like what she does post time skip actually, a lot like that. Just she has wings and talons, but she doesn't really use the talons as well as she has the wings out. When she has the ability, the weaknesses of like the demons that Luffy creates, she doesn't really mind them. She can fly above water, and well, no one is really going to hit her with how heightened her senses are. So, yeah. With this, these three head over to basically just start village. They arrive there, and well, while they're here, they kind of chill out for a bit as they meet Usopp. And well, Usopp kind of asks why Zoro and Nami seem to be so dead set on only being around Luffy. And Zoro and Nami both tell Usopp what Luffy can do for them with their abilities. And Usopp realizes that, well, yeah, they're strong, but Luffy just makes them complete monsters in power. They have their own free will too, but because they admire Luffy so much and thank him, they devote their lives to him. Usopp immediately actually bows to Luffy, wanting to become a brave warrior of the sea, asking Luffy to make him strong. Luffy then decides, telling Usopp that he only gave Zoro and Nami abilities because those abilities fit them. Zoro was already strong, Zoro's abilities were just heightened. Nami had a high IQ, and was very, well, good at one thing. The abilities he brought out within her awakened those abilities for that one thing she was better at. What can Usopp bring to the table? Usopp immediately showed off his very good sharpshooting skills, even with a slingshot. Usopp didn't think they were good, but that's all he could do. But Luffy recognized potential. He knows how good marksmen are, but Usopp's a lot better than most marksmen. Usopp's probably the best marksman in the East Blue currently, probably even in their side of the world. Mine's a little overstepping it, but Luffy thinks at least he's the best in the East. Usopp asks why Luffy looks so like conflicted, but also amazed. Luffy then says, "You're probably the best marksman we have in the East Blue," which makes everyone's ears and eyes perk up. Luffy seems very confident about this, even asking how Luffy knows this, but he says, "Well, the distance Usopp hit can only be reached with guns. Usopp just had the most precision and accuracy with some little slingshot you can buy from a convenience store." When they realize that Luffy was right, they firmly believe that Usopp is the best marksman in the East. Luffy then brought them all brought Usopp to a secluded area, shoved his fist in Usopp's chest, pumped blood into his heart, and Usopp basically gets the abilities of Hyro, who actually happened to be a demon that almost killed Rengoku at some point in Rengoku's own novel. So yeah. Oh well, Rengoku didn't almost die, but if Hyro was a bit stronger, like even a little bit, Rengoku would have died. The abilities of Hyro: regeneration, speed, reflexes, infinite weapons, or not infinite. He doesn't get them automatically, but he has a giant storage area where he keeps virtually infinite weapons. Shadow conjuration and manipulation, and he can create these wolves out of shadows. So yeah, well, Hyro prefers wolves, but I'm pretty sure basically it can function a lot like Megumi's abilities, which is he can conjure like any animal he wants to, but wolves are a better preference. So yeah, so Usopp has all those abilities. So yeah, now Shadow's even created his own Kabuto, which he actually loves. So yeah, Usopp didn't thank Luffy for these abilities. Anyway, Luffy's like, it doesn't turn demons pale. It doesn't turn anyone pale or alter their skin color or anything. Well, it does, but Luffy kind of alters them back to look normal, so they look like normal humans. So yeah, Nami and Zoro look a bit different because they prefer looking like that, and Usopp just prefers his normal abilities or his normal body stature. But he also does make him look a bit more muscular. So Usopp just looks how he does post time skip. So yeah, he has a brown T-shirt and overalls on. But Kai would look at Usopp, wondering how he looks like this, and he says, well, he's given power, and, well, the power is perfectly fit for him. Kuro wondered what kind of power was given, so he realized that Luffy was the pirate in town, and that Luffy was probably the one that gave him this power. And Luffy most likely has a strong devil fruit to thank for this. Now, Kuro called Luffy down to the shore, wanting Luffy to give him this power, threatening to kill him. Only for Luffy's arm to shoot back so far and so fast that Luffy just yelled, "Go, no pistol," and letting Kuro right in the chest, caving it in. Kuro to the ground, coughing up blood, and just dies on the shore, where his Django had arrived. Luffy just smirked as he ran to the shore, yelling, saying a pirate killed Clawdor. Really, everyone's just nervous one thing it was him until they look at the pirate ship in the distance, and Clawdor's dead on the shore. The only person that's dead to rights is Django. And well, Strasky actually will tell that Luffy was threatened by Kuro, but he didn't feel threatened. He just was. Kuro hoped that he could threaten Luffy, but no, Luffy's a lot more threatening than that. But Usopp immediately ready to use Kabuto and nailed Django in the face with something that he called a Shadow Star. As it hit him, it exploded, making shadows. But what was it? Exploded. It kind of made like a head of a wolf that bit Django right in the face, full force, completely crushing his head and killing him. But then Usopp shot off another Shadow Star, as it just made him a lot bigger of a wolf that completely enveloped the Black Cat Pirate ship and ate it. Usopp was just in sheer amazement of this ability, and Luffy called Usopp a natural, telling them that he's leaving now. Usopp to come aboard. Usopp saying goodbye to everyone, thanking them for still letting him live there, even though they don't like him. And they told Usopp to become the best marksman in the world. After with Luffy, basically, just once you're out at sea, become the best marksman in the world, and then we'll forgive you for all the lies you've told. That nods him up a bit, and then they set sail. Next up, Baratier. They had Baratier. They honestly chill out there for a bit. A lot of this isn't much different until Krieg would burst in. When Krieg burst in, Luffy grabbed Krieg by the hair, throwing him outside. But, Sanji thought Luffy just threw him outside, so they looked, seeing how Luffy threw him. Listen, he threw Krieg straight through his own ship, and Krieg hit the water so hard it killed him. Luffy kind of began just popping his neck, and basically telling them he's going to kill Krieg's crew. They ruined his meal. Luffy jumped on the dock of the Baratier, and Luffy then shows off his actual raw skill, proving he should be one of the best martial artists in the East Blue, and one of the strongest men there too. Usually after defeating most of Krieg's crew, Zoro, Nami, Sanji, and Usopp join in, and Sanji would see just how strong the Straw Hats are. Especially Zoro seems to be the most impressive, besides Luffy, that is. Nami began conjuring electricity, hitting the water, electrocuting a majority of the people that landed in it. Then she flew around, grabbing guys with their talons, throwing them in the air, and letting them hit the ground. But yeah. Eventually, with Krieg dead, Miyako does arrive. Miyako fights into Zoro. And he actually acknowledges that Zoro's a really strong swordsman. Zoro's probably one of the best swordsmen he's ever encountered. And Zoro then says, no matter how much he say it, this isn't his power. He was given his power, but he's mastering it. And Miyako then smiled, saying, if you ended up with your given the power, I would have killed you right here and now. But the word you're mastering it just proved to me how much you want to become a good swordsman. So I'll let you live right here. He gave a giant cut on Zoro's chest, but it healed immediately. But Zoro passes out just through the pain that hit him. Luffy just smirked at Zoro, waking up immediately, and Miyako realized that Luffy was probably the one that gave Zoro said power. Miyako wants to fight Luffy, actually pretty intrigued, and Luffy and Miyako fight. Luffy's actually able to impress Miyako with his abilities, but Miyako still beat Luffy. So yeah. No one from here to the New World can really beat Luffy. If they're like a canonical enemy of Luffy, no one from here to the New World beats Luffy. Until it comes down like Jinbei, who could probably be a good stalemate for Luffy. Because he has water, he has fish and karate, but Luffy is also a lot stronger than most people are, so he can probably beat fish and karate, but either way. Before Luffy leaves, he invites Sanji to join his crew as basically just like the chef. Also, one thing: they do not crave blood, and they do not eat people. I'm not having that in this what if. They are at sea 24/7 with only each other on their own boat. They're not killing anyone. They save kingdoms as a hobby. They eat normal food. So yeah. Yeah, Sanji's like, no, I'm good. But Zeph encouraged Sanji to go. And then, Zoro aside telling Sanji what Luffy does to them if he wants to join the crew. This does make Sanji a bit nervous, but, he actually wants to find the All Blue still. But Luffy does actually tell Sanji that Sanji can become a demon if he wants to, or not. But just know he'll be the weakest among the crew. And then he'd likely just be a burden, nothing more. Sanji wanted to find the All Blue, set sail with them, but also not wanting to be a burden, would accept the opportunity to become a demon. Then, Zeph would watch want to watch this. Luffy put his hand in Sanji's chest, began pumping blood in Sanji's heart, making him basically just Akaza, but doesn't use his hands. Giving Sanji the super perception, super durability, regeneration, speed, reflexes, strength, and stamina, and endurance, and controlling and shooting out shockwaves. So yeah. Sanji is just really strong now, a lot stronger than before. He just realized that Sanji's chest just closed immediately, and he thanked Luffy for giving Sanji these abilities. So yeah. Now with this, Luffy and all of them set sail, heading all over to Kokoyashi, and when they arrive, Nami wants to Arlong Park, and leads him down a giant lightning bolt, completely destroying most of the fishmen there. Hachi was hit, but just escapes narrowly, so yeah. But Nami showed a majority of the fishmen there. It was that easy. Also, they have to going merry now, so yeah, it's the same ship. But now this was basically just Arlong Park's defeated and dead. They're all thrown at sea as corpses. They get eaten by random animals. Momo leaves, and Nami's kind of called a savior of her island, but Nami says she couldn't have gotten this strong without Luffy. And Luffy tells the villagers about his abilities, and they're all just stunned that Luffy can do that. But they thank him for actually dispersing some of the abilities that he has, so that Nami can be her own woman. So, yeah. Now with this, they leave, heading to Logtown, where honestly, Luffy isn't caught by Smoker one bit, actually. Luffy actually prefers to avoid Smoker because Smoker has Sea Stone. So, yeah, he runs away from Smoker the whole time. So Smoker can't catch him, so it doesn't matter. Luffy hangs out in the bar. He meets Raul, and Raul also compares Luffy to Roger, just a lot different, but the same at the same time. So, very different, but very similar. At the most, he's the closest man to becoming the next Pirate King. In Raul's eyes, that is. But eventually they leave, heading to Paradise, where they go to Whiskey Peak. They chill out there for a bit. And Sanji kind of passes out, just in enjoying women and also alcohol. But when he's about to get stabbed in his sleep, the knife just breaks on his neck. And no one can really get through any of the Straw Hat's skin. But eventually Luffy woke up, hitting someone so hard that their body basically got blown apart. And everyone immediately just nervous. The Straw Hat's going to go on a rampage around Whiskey Peak, defeating or killing anyone in their way. Then it comes down to Vivi telling them what happened about her kingdom, and Luffy promises to bring her back to the kingdom and free it. So, yeah. In the Little Garden, where it goes pretty similar as in Kanon, it's just that Miss Goldman doesn't paint on Luffy, so he never turns against his crew, because if he did, he'd kill them all in seconds. Once she tried to, he's able to actually just move out the way and grab her by the neck and almost kill her before realizing, or not realizing, but thinking she's a little kid with how small she is. So he just knocks her out. Now realizing that she's almost the same age as him, just like a year younger. So, yeah. But then Luffy that's full speed ahead towards Mr. 3, kicking him in the face, knocking him out on impact, really defeating him. Also, Luffy's bounty. His bounty is roughly about 70 million, the fact that he impressed Mihawk, and his crew are insanely strong, and he's the strongest. And Garp also called out that Luffy probably made his whole crew demons, just like he did to Ace and Sabo. So, yeah. Also, Garp is not mad at Luffy for making Ace or Sabo demons. It was actually for their better with the conditions that they were set in. So, yeah, just because Luffy's ability is scary, Luffy's bounty is a lot higher. So, yeah. So, if he's convincing enough, he will make the strongest man in the world. He can possibly make the strongest man in the world a demon and subservient to him. So, just because of just how scary his ability could be, his bounty is a lot higher. So 70 million is Luffy's first bounty. Zoro has a bounty of around 50 million. Nami has a bounty of 50 million as well. Usopp has a bounty of 30 million. Sanji has a bounty of 35 million. So, yeah. And Mr. 3 is just one tap by Luffy, and then Golden gets just choked out. Nami isn't sick, but instead, they honestly just want to head to Drum Island, because Vivi is the one that's sick. So, yeah, while they're here, Vivi has treatment. And about Chopper is that goes pretty similar as in Kanon, just Sanji isn't with them. Luffy instead just has Nami fly him and Vivi up to the castle. But then when they want to close the door, they realize that the bird's there. Nami thought about kind of killing the birds out of just annoyance. But Luffy got up, picking the birds, and just brought them into the proper tree for the kind of birds that they were. Then he clears the castle with Nami. Vivi is just set up. Until Dark and Chopper arrive, realizing that Luffy and Nami cleared up the castle and made it a pretty suitable place to live, even moving the birds to their proper location. And thank you, Dr. Ring does treats Vivi for free. Then Luffy would talk to Chopper. Chopper does realize that Luffy feels a bit different, and Nami and them both feel different. They seem different. Luffy does call Chopper, recognize this, and talk to Chopper about his abilities. And after he heard about this, she's shocked that Luffy's abilities are that widespread. Luffy also happens to be an expert doctor. It's just, it comes to more or less injuries more or less than sicknesses. And when it comes to injury, well, Luffy can treat you perfectly. Illnesses, though, Luffy can treat you decently, but not on the level of Dr. Ring or Chopper. He can more or less postpone it and not completely cure it. Unless he gives you his blood, which he will not do to Vivi because she's a princess and, well, she's not a crewmate. He's more like an ally than anything else. But Luffy asked Chopper if he wanted to actually try having demon DNA. Chopper got a bit nervous about this, but Dr. Ring's like, oh, hell no, he's not. So, yeah. But eventually, Waffle does return, and Luffy felt the revenge Chopper is brewing, and told Chopper that Chopper has one more chance to say yes or no to demon DNA. But Dr. Ring realizes Chopper's probably going to say yes either way. She doesn't have a choice in it, and Chopper says yes. We punch the whole thing clean through Chopper, giving him Chopper's DNA. And then Chopper immediately will awaken abilities. Basically, got all the abilities of Tamayo and Yoshiro, basically just their abilities. In Chopper, super durability, speed, strength, perception. He has the ability that he calls Mushroom Illusion, which allows him to basically just give you illusions of being surrounded by poisonous mushrooms that are shooting out poisonous gas, which scare you to the point where you think you may die, but you won't. Your body tricks itself into almost dying. Basically, just how it is. Your body almost kills itself. He also has truth serum ability, along with basically creating trees made out of flesh, and mind control. So yeah, those are Chopper's abilities. So yeah. Also, Luffy just bestowed upon him different bits of medical knowledge that were all around the East Blue and the South Blue. So, yeah. As Chopper fights against Walpole, he wins pretty easily. And Luffy easily killed Chess and Kodomarimo. So, yeah. Now this, Luffy leaves with Vivi and Nami. And then Dr. Wing says goodbye to Chopper and the Straw Hats. They leave heading to Alabasta, where they chill out here for a bit. And Luffy met Ace, as he knew Ace was there. He met Ace, talked for a bit, and he introduces Ace to the Straw Hats, saying that Ace was actually his first demon. Ace is also his older brother. So, yeah. They want to see Ace's abilities. Ace shows off basically his demon sickles that are made of flames and poison. Yes, Ace has every ability of Gyutaro. So, yeah. Like, every ability of Gyutaro. So, yeah. Coincidentally, there's Daki in this way. Like, basically, like Luffy has like someone he basically makes into Daki, but Ace and said Daki user would not have a connection at all. Just, they have the abilities of this brother-sister duo. So, yeah. Yeah. So Luffy basically would just go on, hang out here in Alabasta for a bit, until it came down to the Straw Hats versus their opponents. One, Luffy is never impelled by Crocodile, but instead hitting Crocodile's spar for a bit. He feels Crocodile's abilities, and thinks about a weakness to sand, and got mad it was so obvious that it was water. He got so mad about it once the fight was over. So he just began trapping until the next fight. So yeah. So now we go to Zoro versus Mr. 1. Mr. 1 went in for one attack on Zoro, and when the attack landed, the wall behind Zoro is destroyed, but Zoro isn't even phased. So Zoro grabbed him by his hand, and he just broke his hand, then headbutted him so hard that his head was almost caved in. Well, Mr. 1 not even worthy of his sword skills, as he walks away. Now Nami versus Mr. Littlefinger. Nami just dodged one attack as Mr. Littlefinger hit a barrel, but Nami immediately made the wood around the barrel, wrap around Mr. Littlefinger, and kind of just completely crushed her bones. Until she just grabbed Mr. Littlefinger in the neck and just choked her out and walked away, calling her weak trash. Then they led on Mr. 2 versus Sanji. Sanji just says, well, technically I'm not hitting you, the air is, so here you go. He kicked the air full force, letting Shockwave, slapping him and slamming Mr. 2, completely crushing his body, almost killing him, but he hit the ground unconscious. And that was the fight between Mr. 2 and Sanji. These fights are pretty just no diffing for the Straw Hats. And then we go on, basically, Mr. 4 versus Usopp. Well, Usopp can just tank a majority of the blows without getting too badly injured. Point where he summoned like a giant portal of shadows. It was like he was like a cloak now. Luffy recommended it, so really we're kind of like Usopp just opened it as it basically just teleports away. Very similar to Kamui. But it emerged from Mr. 4's shadow, putting him in a chokehold and just choking him out, and just very simply just choked him out. That's all it was. And Muzan can't get through Chopper's sturdy body, and he one-tapped her. That's all it was. His first attack just took her out in one blow. So, yeah. So after easily defeating the Miss Merry Christmas and Mr. 4, Chopper and Usopp just leave. So Chopper sniffed out the bomb, so they honestly just kind of find a way to get rid of the bomb. It's really hard to do, but honestly, which is them defeating Mr. 7, I think, and someone else. But then the bomb would kick into the air full force by Chopper, and the bomb just explodes through just it being hit so hard, but it exploded above Alabasta, not making any damage happen. So yeah. Now this we go on to Luffy vs. Crocodile again, and Luffy came to run the ones on an elite scale and easily beat Crocodile this time. Because Luffy's body is a lot weaker to water than usual. Because one, he's a demon, he has 2 devil fruits. His body is a lot weaker to water and sea stone. But instead, he's going to use Crocodile's poison against him, as if he's immune to poison. He's immune to it. Not has like immunity built up, but no, poison just does not affect him at all. Like Magellan's Hydra would do dog shit to him. It would do nothing. So the Crocodile and Luffy being fighting, Crocodile went to hit Luffy. Only for Luffy to snap off Crocodile's hook, gets the poison, and slash Crocodile across the face, giving him a whole new scar, then impaling him on the side using his own hook. Bring Crocodile off with blood as he hit the ground, just thinking he may die. But Crocodile doesn't die, he just passes out through pain, and then eventually the Marine arrest him. Ace leaves, and yeah. Then came to Robin. Luffy offers Robin basically offers Robin the ability to become a demon, but also infinite knowledge. He says he's the smartest man in the East Blue. What couldn't she want from him? As Luffy and Robin talk for a bit, and eventually Robin agrees to join Luffy's crew, actually fearing Luffy's power, fearing Luffy over the government. So yeah. Luffy basically gives Robin all the abilities of Daki. So for this, there's going to be a demon that has Daki's abilities. But the thing is, Luffy gives Robin the ability of basically decapitation and immunity. The fact that he likes Robin. Well, not like a romantic interest, but just finds her interesting and just adores some of her abilities and her intelligence. So because she's so valuable, he refuses to let her die. Unless he dies. So if Luffy dies, Robin dies. So, yeah, that's the only difference. If Luffy dies, Robin dies at the same time, but Luffy's unlikely to die, so Robin felt the safest around Luffy. Only thing that killed her is sea stone and water. Other than that, well, nothing. So, yeah. She'd be impaled and she wouldn't die. It hurt, but she wouldn't die. So, yeah. But Robin's given the abilities of super perception, hair manipulation, regeneration, super speed, reflexes, strength, levitation, decapitation immunity, infinite stamina, and endurance. And she can also use basically like her. She can also create sashes that she can control and use storage. So yeah. Next up would probably be the next arc, being Jaya, which is pretty chill. And basically, everything's arc isn't much different to me, actually. It's just that the first thing that would happen on Skypiea, well, one, Bellamy can't throw hands with Luffy at all. He can't even move Luffy. The only tries to Luffy's head through a table. He can't make Luffy budge. Instead, Luffy's knocking out one blow. That's what happened on Jaya. Next thing, Skypiea. Not much is different until Enel went to run the ones with Sanji. Sanji uses shockwaves. He doesn't hit you. The air hits you. He controls the air that hits you. That's all that happens. So Sanji can literally hit Enel without directly hitting him, which infuriates Enel. But also, Nami controls lightning on such a good scale that she can control Enel's body or his attacks. Enel's in a losing battle. Usopp teleports. Nami controls Enel. Sanji can hit him without hitting him. And Enel's losing his first fight. So yeah, Enel lost his first battle against Nami and Usopp and Sanji. That really was not even a fight. It wasn't even an arc. It was literally a boring 10-15 minutes in the forest. That's all it was. Then starts to emerge in the forest. Well, Enel's defeated. He's dead, actually. Luffy ate him. Not even ate him. He just absorbed him. But yeah, he kind of absorbed all of Enel's priests, actually. So yeah. Now with this, they kind of leave, heading down the water. And down water 7, where they kind of chill out there for a bit. The ship is pronounced irreparable. Luffy and Usopp don't fight because Usopp's like, hey, me and you're gonna fight now. Luffy just wiped his mind, saying, we're not gonna fight. And Usopp just said, fine, we're not gonna fight. So yeah. But eventually, Luffy met Franky just to do sheer coincidence because Franky's family got beat up by Usopp. Luffy and Franky talk for a bit. Luffy promised Franky a normal human body, but the same abilities as a cyborg at the same time. And he had interest in Franky's abilities and Franky's past. Franky's a bit nervous on how Luffy can do that, but Luffy told Franky all he has to do is have a bit of trust in him. Franky's a bit nervous about this, but Luffy kept promising him this ability. And Franky could even build ships beyond his greatest belief. At this point, Luffy's talking out of his ass, but wants Franky on his crew. Franky first agrees to join Luffy's crew. Luffy punches a hole through Franky's chest, pumping his blood through a little bit of Franky's body has blood in it, giving Franky the abilities of now Enmu. Yes, you heard me, Enmu. So, yeah. It's leaving Franky, well, speed, reflexes, flesh manipulation and detachment, fusion, sleep inducement, and dream control. But also, with Franky's flesh manipulation, he can control his body to the point where he looks human again, but he can just control his body to make it look a lot different in different variations. Luffy can also do that to him, and Franky actually enjoys this, actually, thoroughly. When we even told Iceberg that the Franky family is gone, they now work for Yagai Law, but Franky would join the Straw Hat crew. So with that, Franky would kind of put his flesh all over the Going Merry, then actually find all those shipbuilding materials, and fuse all that to the Going Merry, making it a whole new ship. It's still the Sunny, but a lot bigger. Kind of just what it is. And with the Franky family not needing their hideout, he used the hideout too. So he has a whole building that's like 10 feet tall, 20 feet tall, makes it a lot bigger than anything else. Like he basically just makes a gigantic, giant, even like 30 feet tall building, but still, this building's huge. And then, well, he kind of fuses all with the Going Merry, making it now the Sunny. So yeah, the ship's a lot bigger, a lot more amazing. And Luffy would thank Franky for this. But then CP9 would try to follow Robin, only for her to beat up all of CP9 herself, until Luffy what happened, and now Luffy wants to throw hands with the world government. So he goes on and decides to completely throw hands with the world government in his lobby as they take the Sunny to Water 7, or not, to his lobby, and honestly, just out of spite, they decimate it. Like, literally, these fights are not worth going over. Hell, Chopper can one-shot Lucci in a split second. This is not an arc at all. This is just, honestly, a complete assault. Like, when it came to Luffy versus Lucci, he headbutted him into the pavement full force. So, yeah, this arc is just complete assault. So, yeah. Next up would be basically them heading into the Fort in Triangle, where they meet Brook. But once they heard about Brook not having a shadow, Usopp literally made Brook a whole new shadow. But out of curiosity, they want to go fight Moria. Even though they don't need to anymore. So yeah. But Luffy does give Brook basically some of his own DNA by actually using a little bit of Brook's hair and kind of fusing in what little bit of DNA he has in Brook's body or in Brook's bones. Not making Brook human again or giving Brook human DNA or anything. Well, Brook has human DNA, but Brook now has the abilities of a demon despite not having flesh. So, yeah. Or blood at all, actually. Yeah, Brook basically just gets the abilities of Nakime. So, yeah. Speed, reflexes, infinite stamina, and so on and so forth. Basically the abilities of a demon. Along with basically having an infinite domain being the Sunny, that he can change and alter to his desire. Literally anything that they can afford to build, Brook can create within the Sunny. So yeah. Brook also can create portals now, so that lead to the Sunny. So yeah, they're kind of stacked now. They can retreat from anywhere, and there's no reason for anyone to be able to defeat them now. So they go throughout the bark, causing mayhem wherever they go. Literally, it came into just Absalom spying on Nami in the shower. She literally just impaled him on a talon. He retreated out of just fear, but is almost dying. Hollowback got beaten up by Chopper. Well, Usopp just stole all the shadows of Thriller Bark, completely destroying all the zombies that were important. So there's no zombies. Luffy fought Moria. He easily beat him. Lowe's Grizzer has their shadows back. Zoro, because he made Usopp let it happen. Zoro fights it against Ryuma. Ryuma actually broke one of Zoro's flesh blades. Zoro's got impressed. He beat Ryuma, and then Ryuma handed over Shusui. So yeah, that's kind of how Thriller Bark happened. And Luffy also completely absorbed Oars' flesh. So yeah, or just absorbed Oars. So yeah. So this is just all of Thriller Bark. Leaf fighting have Odie, where it's honestly pretty chill. Rayleigh's kind of shocked about their abilities, but does admire it a bit, calling Luffy a pretty caring captain to give his crew his own DNA to make them stronger. But tells Rayleigh that if they're not willing to put an effort to master their abilities, he won't give them abilities. Which illustrates the back up, saying the game to spend time mastering their abilities to the peak level. So yeah. But Kami is still kidnapped, which leads them to go auction off Kami. Not auction to get Kami back and buy her. But when it came to that, Charles had bought Kami, Luffy immediately just walked up to Charles and punched him in the chest hard that almost killed him. So Charles' chest is caved in. Luffy walked up the stage, and he turned off Kami's collar, holding it just by his face, just letting it blow up. He's unscathed, and then he walks out with Kami. So yeah. So with this, the whole Rayleigh thing happens after this, but yeah, he frees Kami. Kid Killer and Law are pretty shocked by this. But Luffy frees everyone back there, just letting explosions hit him point blank to the face. So, yeah. Now with this, we go on to, I would probably say, just outside. The Marines are there, and Luffy tells Straw Hats that they should just go focus on freeing everyone. Him, Kid and Law can defeat anyone in their path. And, well, Luffy, Kid, and Law spend time kind of just completely decimating their foes. With how strong Luffy is, his bounty is well over 400 million at this point. Plus, he's a lot scarier with how many allies he has and how strong his crew is. So his highest bounty in supernovas being 400 million. Behind him is Zoro, having a bounty of 330 million, actually, which makes Zoro's second highest supernova. Sanji, supernova as well, 300 million. Which also has bounties comparable to supernovas. Even Chopper does. So yeah, well, not Chopper, probably not Chopper, actually. Chopper's bounty is probably like 1,000 at the most. Every Zoro has a bounty in the 100 million already. That's how strong they all are. All the bounties are over 200 million. So, yeah. So now with this, we go on to just, well, Kid in Law question Luffy's devil fruit, but he says he has 2 of them, and he asks them to be more specific. As shows off basically he's going to Nami as he cut off a Marine's head, and then walks away. So, yeah. But eventually, they basically ran out of Rayleigh's bar, they chill out there for a bit, or Shaki's bar, as they talk with Rayleigh. But eventually they go on to, I would say, So yeah, I could probably just see them probably like still like not meeting up, but fighting against like Kizaru and Kuma. But Luffy and Kuma, as they fight, seem to be a bit closer as equals in a battle. So Luffy and Kuma are pretty much equals in terms of speed, but strength, Luffy pretty easily outmuscles him somehow. So yeah, so Kuma can't separate any of the Straw Hats, even telling Luffy what happened or what the situation is. But he tells Kuma, just have Kuma tell him all the information that Kuma can. And then he'll make sure the Straw Hats go to said place. And Kuma then just nods, telling Luffy every place they sends the Straw Hats to, and then Luffy just nods. But eventually Luffy somehow is actually able to beat Kuma. Kizaru still being head off by Rayleigh. Luffy calls the Straw Hats over for a meeting and tells him where to go and how to get there. With this, immediately Nami gets lost in the sky over the area. Franky was actually able to grab a ship, turning it straight into just like submarine, and just kind of just sails away, and the Straw Hats just leave in their own way. So yeah, after they're all gone, Kizaru realized that Kuma was beaten, and all the Straw Hats had fled besides Luffy. And with this, Luffy joined in the fight against Kizaru with Rayleigh. Even Kizaru hitting Luffy head on with one of the stronger attacks can't really fully kill Luffy. It'll burn him, hurt him pretty badly, but it won't kill him. So yeah. But eventually, Kizaru does beat Luffy and kick him so hard that Luffy sent flying all the way to Amazon Lily. But with how fast Luffy sent flying and how hard he was hit, well, Luffy's body kind of heals immediately. But he landed on Amazon Lily. So yeah. Luffy realized where he was and immediately turned into a woman, being able to alter his biological structure. Until Boa Hancock arrived, and then he told Boa Hancock who he actually is and what happened. And Boa actually is fascinated by Luffy's aura and everything, to the point where she has a crush on him. She just tells Luffy that she'll have to tell everyone what happened and who Luffy is. And no one really feels bad about this. They actually do still like Luffy a lot. So, yeah. But Luffy, in the meantime, actually gets busy with Boa Hancock a few times, until he decides to leave. Heading to Impel Down to go free Ace. So, yeah. He does still miss his Ace and Impel Down, but he's able to get the same prisoner group with him. But Magellan. Again, it came to Luffy's Magellan. Magellan hit Luffy full force with the Hydra, and Luffy's unscathed by it. It burns and tingles a bit, but that's about it. Magellan can only land a successful poison attack on Luffy. It doesn't really hurt. So Magellan is honestly complete under attack compared to Luffy, as Luffy easily beat him and almost killed him. So yeah. But Luffy kind of got fed up with Hannibal and killed Hannibal. So yeah. But eventually we do go on to, I would probably say, getting Jinbei on crew. Not on crew, but I guess with him. And then they set sail. And as they set sail, well, Luffy did say tell the main fighting forces that, people here can be actually used as pawns, as like suicide bombers and so on and so forth. But he doesn't think it'd be a good idea because he actually has a conscience. And Jinbei does tell Luffy that's probably a bad idea, but if the scummiest ones could be used as suicide bombers, and Luffy agreed to that. So found the scummiest ones, turned them into basically demons, and when they landed, the demons just bum rush anyone they can, being killed immediately. But still, it made a lot of leeway actually. So yeah. So with this, Luffy kind of told Ace, he's gonna come save him. Until they kind of felt a large cold breeze by them all. Ace and Luffy immediately recognized this breeze, but it felt colder than Aokiji's ice. What can be colder than that? But since Aokiji turned around, as he felt this feeling before, Aokiji's frozen solid in a giant dome of ice. Only Sabato emerged from the ice, walking out, just smirking. As he had completely frozen Aokiji, the Iceman, Aokiji, is frozen. Sabo ran around, completely defeating anyone in his way, until eventually he had gotten to Ace. Well, first got to Garp. Really just froze the ground, or froze the stand, completely making it crash down. And they realized that Sabo had frozen the sea stone, and the sea stone shattered around Ace's wrist, and Ace used a poison sickle to cut Sengoku across the face. Then him, Sabo, and Luffy go back to back as they completely decimate any force in their way. By the time they're done, these three brothers completely decimate the Marines themselves, mainly, and, well, they win. So yeah, no Marines in their way as basically the pirates win this war. So yeah. Pause. So yeah. So with this, well, with the Marines, someone losing this war, Shanks arrives, Luffy and Shanks talk. Luffy wants to get the hat back, Shanks says no, Luffy and Shanks spar for a bit, and Shanks showed Luffy why he can't get the hat back. Luffy doesn't know hockey, he's not even a Wicked Devil Fruit user. So, until Luffy can at least become a master of his Devil Fruit or hockey, Shanks cannot accept the hat back. Which annoyed Luffy to the maximum, but he saw the point. So yeah. The Strats are all kind of training for a bit. They hear the pirates won Marineford. Whitebeard still arrived and actually killed Whitebeard, but the Whitebeard pirates come back and almost kill Blackbeard's whole crew. So, yeah, all the stuff are the Titanic captain instead of just the random foes they have, or numbers they have, but yeah. But Blackbeard still has the Gurgur no Mi. Then Luffy just basically trained with Rayleigh for a whole 2 years. And Ace kind of settles down on Six Island with Marco, chilling out there for a bit, so, yeah. But now with this, 2 years are up, Luffy's a master of hockey, or at least a master of observation hockey, and then a user of advanced the key master of observation, the fact that his body is always in the scent of observation, because it's just demon physiology, but now he's a user of advanced armament hockey, as he can somewhat use Ryobo, but not on a good scale. As Conqueror's hockey is already in effect, as he's pretty much a master of conquerors. So yeah. All he needs to do is master Ryobo, and then he can use Conqueror's like a coding. So, yeah, that's how far along he is with Conquerors. But honestly, Fishman Island will probably be the easiest arc that they've ever had, as Luffy just swept through it pretty easily in seconds. So, yeah. This is just literally one go on a whip, cut everyone's head off, and that was it. And him and Shirahoshi started floating a bit, as he actually did a few unholy things with Shirahoshi. So, yeah. Don't ask how, he just did it. He can also alter his physical body to become basically a merman, so doing it wasn't hard. He can alter his size, his race. Man's pretty easy to do so. So yeah. Now this is Rots takes on a punk hazard with Luffy's not impressed by the weather at all. But when getting Kinemon's body back, that was a lot harder to do because they all can't go in the water. But Luffy technically cannot die. So he kind of tore off his own head and then had his body in the water. His body, he actually able to control his body until he found Kinemon's body. It took him a long time as he got bit by a shark at some point in the water. But he kind of just like no, summer. I kind of just had his body float around the water. He found Kinemon's body. Eventually, well, Luffy regrew his whole body from his head, making his real body basically just completely useless as just a limp corpse. So he's underwater, grabbing his real body, pulling it out using his long arm. And he had Kinemon's body attached to it. So, yeah. Then he helped Kinemon attach his body again. And kind of just stitching it back together using his finger. So, yeah. Now with this, they go on. They defeat Caesar's whole crew. They have Momonosuke. But Luffy offers Momonosuke the chance to actually be 28 years old physically. And have full control over that smile fruit he has. Which Kinemon's even curious about. So Luffy just told him what he does to his crew. And it's to scare Momonosuke. But Kinemon's like, Momonosuke, this may be the chance for you to stand up against Kaido. And Momonosuke's like, yeah, you're right, maybe. So eventually Momonosuke does say yes before Dressrosa. And Luffy shoves a finger into Momonosuke's chest, giving something blood in Momonosuke's chest, and alters Momonosuke's DNA to the point where Momonosuke turned 28 years old physically. And then Luffy controlled Momonosuke's mind and everything. Can remove any sense of fear he has, giving Momonosuke the full control over his Dragon Devil Fruit. All he has to do is train. So, yeah. Now with this, Dressrosa is a complete walk in the park, as a giant dragon scared away everyone. So, yeah. And then when no one came to Luffy for Doflamingo, Doflamingo was like, oh, I'm the heavenly demon. Like, oh, you're a demon? I'll show you a real one. And almost killed Dofi in the middle of Dressrosa. So, yeah. So this arc isn't really important because anyone on the Strike Crew can one-shot Doflamingo. Even Chopper can one-shot Doflamingo. So, yeah, this arc isn't really too hard. So, yeah. Now with this arc not being too difficult, interestingly, Luffy even offered to make Law a demon, and Law almost said yes. Almost. He said no eventually, but, yeah. Because this arc isn't too hard. Oh, my bad. we can probably just go on to, I would say now, just for the next arc, as Dressrosa isn't a long one or a hard arc. Probably Zoe, which is the same thing. And I don't see Whole Cake Island being much different either. So, yeah. With Whole Cake Island, I don't see that being much different either. Really, Luffy's Cracker is a pretty easy fight. Luffy beat him pretty easily. He also beat Katakuri pretty easily. Yeah, this arc isn't much different to me, actually. All the difference is that Luffy fights a lot quicker until it came to Big Mom, where he lost to Big Mom, but still impressed her in a fight. All he did in this fight is master Ryuo. So yeah, that's the biggest thing in this arc, is that he mastered Ryuo. In Wano, not much different either, actually. Actually, that Luffy kind of ran an underground, kind of ran like a whole new Yakuza that he kind of just calls basically like the Demon's Yakuza. Or actually, with Luffy being able to alter his appearance. Also, Luffy being a bit darker and knowing how to get to Orochi. Luffy ran a brothel. Man turned into Daki. So yeah. Or Robin, or Luffy kind of had Robin at his beck and call, as Robin was basically Daki. And yeah. Wapol eventually arrived Wapol, I mean. Orochi eventually arrived wanting to have Robin as his. So I was like, no, I'm not merchandise. Well, but also the guy that owns this place would get upset with me as I'm his wife. Orochi met with Luffy, and hand over your wife to me, you peasant. Only to get impaled right the stomach by Luffy, and Luffy told him that he'll let Orochi leave here alive if Orochi just never even looks at Robin again, and he agreed. So yeah. So a lot of the arcs so far are honestly just too easy or not much different. So yeah. All that's different is that Orochi's terrified of Luffy now. So yeah. Well, it came to the prison. Luffy and Law sneak in. They free Kid. They kind of free everyone. Law in the meantime beat Queen half to death. Luffy helped Kid escape. Then they found Killer. They set free Killer. And Luffy is actually able to actually make Killer a demon and actually remove that effect of the smile, but Killer still can't swim. So yeah. But now Kid is completely in Luffy's debt forever. So yeah. All that's different is Onigashima, but Luffy arrived there on the same level of power he is towards the end of the Onigashima arc. So Kaido loses, disrespectfully. Luffy's basically invincible. He can heal from anything. He's a awakened Devil Fruit user now, of 2 of his fruits. He's a master of hockey. Yeah, Kaido isn't winning completely at all. Kaido lost horribly. So yeah, even if Kaido used all his abilities, it was just a 1v1 between him and Luffy before Onigashima was in the air, and Kaido had lost. So yeah, Zoro easily beat Queen. Zoro easily beat King. Sanji easily beat Queen. The Toby replica can easily be handled by Robin alone. So yeah, these fights were just complete washes for the Straw Hat crew. Big Mom fought Kid and Law and Killer, and they easily beat her. So yeah, this arc wasn't too hard. They headed Alabasta beam the next arc. As Green Bull, they left Wano before Green Bull arrived. So this they leave. Green Bull got there to only find it useless. So yeah. Then Luffy instructs it to Elbaf. They meet Shanks. Luffy gives the hat back. His bounty is roughly around 4.8 billion by now. Buggy's a Yonko. Yeah. This post Wano honestly just because Luffy dominating everyone. So yeah. Even when it comes to Blackbeard, it's not an arc. It is literal assault. He easily beats him. So yeah, Blackbeard is just completely just no diffs by Luffy, no matter what fruit he uses. A master of hockey, a master to do double fruit, and a demon lord. You're not beating Luffy. Not a cold day in hell. Like hell has a better chance of freezing over than Blackbeard beating Luffy. So yeah, Blackbeard lost horribly, and so did Blackbeard's crew. They lost horribly as well. So yeah. Sabo is not captured on Marie's while the fact that Sabo is a master user of his double fruit, or of his demon ability. So yeah, this honestly is not much of an arc. So yeah, well, post Wano, not much of a story. It's they easily win against everyone and everything. So yeah, I don't see this. Well, you guys can see where I'm going with this. Is kind of pretty easy to do anything, do everything. I mean, not anything, everything. So yeah, we probably just end this What If now. Was enjoyed? Like and subscribe for another What If. Adios.